This is Gene Adam, former lead singer of Iced Earth. Be sure to subscribe to Podcast and Stone, and don't forget, join our community on social media. Metal lives.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Iced Earth community, welcome to Podcast and Stone, the only podcast 100% dedicated to iced motherfucking Earth. I am joined, as always, with the incomparable Chuck Hoskins. Today, we talk about the demo that starts this all. We should have began with this, really, but whatevs. It's gonna be it's episode 13, guys. Enter the Realm is what we're talking about. The 1989 demo by Iced Earth. As I said before, I'm joined by Chuck Hoskins. Chuck, how you doing, my friend?
Jason, how goes it, my friend?
Really good.
It's a good day.
Really good.
Yeah.
It's been a nice warm day here in the UK. I don't know where this heat comes. Disappears, rains for fucking weeks, then comes back with this heat. I'm like, what the hell's going on? What the hell?
Well, here in Ohio, we're on our third day of rain, and the temperatures dropped nicely, so I love it. It feels very fall-like.
Have you entered the realm? Have you entered the realm, sir?
Yes, I'm ready to enter the realm. The demo of all demos. Who is on this Enter the Realm, Jason?
We have on rhythm guitars the one and the only John Schaefer. On bass guitar, we have the wonderful David Abel. We are not worthy. We on lead guitar, we have the incredible Randall Shulver. On drums, we have the elusive Greg Seymour.
Vice President Greg Seymour.
Vice President of beer drinking, perhaps.
And Iced Earth.
And on lead vocals, we have the fucking awesome, he is awesome, the Gene of the Adam.
The Gene.
Gene Adam. On lead vocals. Released in 1989. It comprises 6 songs. A couple of the songs never made it onto the debut, which I'm sure we'll get into because they should have been, in my eyes. But, you know.
But did show up in the Days of Purgatory.
Yes.
Both of them.
With Brent Smedley on drums and Matt on vocals. Now I'm trying to figure out where this was recorded because I've been on Wikipedia and it's not telling me.
See, mine says that it was produced by John Schaefer, engineered by Tom Morris, mastered at Morris Sound, and it was recorded at Morris Sound Studios in January of 1988. That's what this says.
Nice. That's probably correct. If it's that's an official release.
Yeah, it's part of that, which we'll get into that. So, Morris has had a long journey with us.
Yeah,
about day one.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, you know. I'm gonna kick it off with saying that I generally think this is better than the album in terms of raw production. It just sounds so fucking just gritty and hungry and bleak and dark and thrashy. It just sounds so good. You know, I think it's, you know, it sounds even better than the debut album. What's your overall thoughts, Chuck?
Well, I remember it took me several years as an Iced Earth fan to actually hear it, because when I became a fan of the Something Wicked era, those were not around at all. You could not hear that demo. I mean, I had heard the legend of it and everything, but it wasn't till the Dark Genesis box set that I finally got to hear it, and it was worth the wait. I was surprised at the changes, because they were all for the first one was better. They didn't change them for the better. It seems like just the first one, the Enter the Realm, was just so special, and the sound quality and just everything is, like you said, better than the first album. I was just gonna say I've heard that they were very rushed recording the first album, and maybe that had something to do with the quality not being, as good as the demo.
Yeah, it's like Randall. Randall told us that he did wish that they kind of took what they had for Enter the Realm, Enter the Realm, and just added songs to it. That's what he would have liked to have done.
Right.
Because I think, because the songs on here are just great. It just sounds fucking immaculate. I think for a demo cassette in the late 80s, by at the time, obviously they were a very unknown band at the time. They were very kind of, cutting their teeth, so to speak. I think, like, if you think about it in terms of a production standpoint, I think it's one of the better sounding demos from that era, especially for a band that was not known at the time.
Right. And I was going to say, I remember, I think it was on the horror show second disc where they interview him, where John was talking about that they charge, almost the regular price of a cassette at that time. And he was like, yeah, but it's got a nice J card, and, it's not just they built it up to be a regular release, and it pretty much was. I mean, it was right there with anything else that was released in that time.
And it's like, I don't really want to get mine. Actually, I might just do it just to show it off a little bit. But yeah, Kurt, while I'm fucking around with this, tell your story about your copy and how you acquired it, and the history behind your copy in particular.
My copy is very special to me. It's unfortunately water damaged, and it was there's the infamous flooding that happened in John Schaefer's basement, and this was in there, and the tape is somewhat stuck to the the tape comes out, but the card inside is stuck to the actually cassette tape, and if you take it across, then it's going to rip that cover off. And it's got a kind of a broken tape there. But so this was in Schaefer's basement, and it was given to Larry Tarnowski, and Larry gifted it to me. That was such a cool thing to do. So it's still playable, and it actually means more to me than a mint copy, because it's been in it's been owned by two different members of Iced Earth. So
it has history.
It's got a backstory that makes up for the imperfections of the water damage.
That's still awesome. The fact you paid nothing for it is right. Insane as well. So, and the thing I don't like is I can't get it signed now. But like I said, it means more than anything to me. My copy in particular is unique in the fact that it doesn't have the original case. My case is completely clear. I quite like the complete clear case. I quite like this case. It's definitely a case from that era.
They might have just, when they went to sell it, just tried to, put a better tape case in there.
As you can see with the cassette, it's got the Iced Earth logo on there as well. Both sides. Both sides of the cassette have the same 6 songs on, as far as I'm aware. Because I've not listened to the whole thing without worrying about damaging it. The J card, my J card has seen better days. It's got a few creases in it, but it's pretty clean. I'm very happy with it for what I paid for it. Apparently a lot of people have been telling me that I got mine at the cheapest end of the spectrum. I paid about £68, which is about $80, and people said I got that for a steal price. Considering John Schaefer has told us that he's heard stories where people have paid up to $1,200 for this, which is silly money.
In the last 2 years, there's been 2 of them sold on eBay and they were both right around 125.
And there was two. There was when I bought mine.
There was two on
There was
Discogs.
I bought mine. There was four. There was one for 68. There was one for 75, and the other two were about 200 odd pounds. I'm talking about pounds, right? So I bought one, and then I linked Philippe, one of my friends on our group, Philippe. I linked him to one, and he kind of caved in and bought it. So I kind of helped him get a copy of one as well. Now, before we get on track by track, I just want to mention that Bill Owen has given me an interesting tidbit about this cover. Is you can't really see it, but that picture on the wall, that is meant to be John Schaefer. And Bill was telling me that there's a significant story behind why is a picture of John Schaefer on the wall in this room with this skeleton king, and he said that the whole cover art is very significant to John, and that's why it is what it is. He told me that Bill told me that everything that is here in this room, in this cover, is all significant to John. So maybe we'll find out more about that later on. I don't know. But yeah, it's really, I'm really intrigued to find out what the story behind this album is. I'm really intrigued.
It's really cool.
It's one of my favorite pieces. It's one of my favorite pieces of band artwork. I was really tempted to get one made by UKR Patcher, who is a really good patch making guy. But I can't find an image of higher quality to make a good enough patch.
And just a side note for the year thing, my tape says 89, so I guess it was recorded in 88.
Yes,
but probably released in 89. So
I used to get the dates mixed up all the time. I used to think it was an 88 release, but obviously I was wrong. It's an 89 release.
Recorded in 88. I don't know.
So shall we get onto the track listing and track thoughts?
Before we get too deep into that, I just want to thank the man, Matt Barlow, for joining us for his thoughts and stories behind We Are Sentinels. That was a wonderful episode, very fun. And we love Matt, and he's promised to do it again for the release of Ashes of Ares, whatever that upcoming album's going to be called. So thanks again, Matt, for spending time with us. Is much appreciated.
I want to say, I know we said we weren't going to mention it, but I thought as we're saying thank yous, I want to say my deepest condolences to the Richard Bateman family. Really horrible news to hear of his passing the last couple of days. He was integral to bringing Purgatory to life, and steering that ship, to what it became. It became Iced Earth. He was the first bass player for Purgatory. He went on to being in some incredible bands, Agent Steel, Nasty Savage, and he will be missed. And my thoughts go out to his friends and his family.
Very well said.
Rest in peace, Richard Bateman.
So, track by track.
Yes.
The very first one is the intro, Enter the Realm. Jason, what are your thoughts on Enter the Realm?
It's perfectly constructed acoustic instrumental. It's probably one of my favourite acoustic kind of instrumentals that's ever been written. I think that it's the perfect accompaniment with colours. I can imagine when they probably decided on the track sequence, they nailed it with choosing it to go into colours. I think it just works so well, and it's such a really well written passage, and it's quite catchy. Like I find myself just singing along to the notes and stuff. It's beautiful. I love it. I think it's fucking brilliant.
Wow, nicely said. It's funny you say that because Enter the Realm is one of those instrumentals, and there's not many for me that I can basically, like you said, hum or sing along to every single note. Like I know where every note's going, and it's a perfect intro to Colors. And I really think that those two songs should have started the first album. But for Enter the Realms and Colors to be so different, they're so perfect together. It flows perfectly from one. I mean, whoever put those two together was right on.
Yeah.
So Enter the Realm going into Colors is perfect. Like I said, it's not overwhelmingly too long where you get bored with it, and it's not, just 15 seconds either. It's the perfect song time.
Yeah.
That it just goes perfectly into it. So Enter the Realm is a huge thumbs up. One of my favorite instrumentals.
When it comes to like dream set lists, when we were talking about dream set lists on a post a few weeks or months ago, whenever it was, my dream set list would open with Enter the Realm into Colors, because I think that would be fucking killer. That would be the ultimate opener for me. That would top Dystopia, it would top Plagues, it would top anything. I think, yeah, Into the Realm, into Colors live would be fucking ridiculous. They don't even have to play Into the Realm live. It could just play it as they're coming on stage.
Play it into it.
And then
bam,
bam, bam. So yeah, as we're entering into it, Colors, sir.
Colors. I cannot hear that song without seeing that awesome video in my mind of the guys running around in the old storage unit with the old car and stuff. Colors is a really cool song. I really love it. I think it's the Enter the Realm version is my favorite version of it. It's just a terrific song, and Matt did very well live with it as well, and did a very good job on it on the Purgatory Days of Purgatory re-release. It's a terrific song. I think Gene's voice is perfect on it, and it's just a great song. It's catchy. It's just got everything is great with Colors. What's your thoughts?
It is my favorite version of Colors as well. There's something about this version on Enter the Realm. It just has so much energy and so much bite to it that it just, whenever it comes on, I can't help but get fired up, because it's just fucking, it just goes, man.
The build up.
And it has this part in it that's not in the debut version, where when it goes into the main riff properly, there's this undercurrent open chorus like da 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 da. That's not in the debut version, but that just adds such a oomph to that opening, and it just opens with a punch, and it's just so much energy, there's just so much fire to it. I just love it. And I'm just going to say something controversial, as everyone loves controversial statements. With Colors,
let's hear it.
With Colors, to me, it's a Gene Adams song. I'm sorry. Like, Matt does fine, but it's Gene's song, man. It's a Gene Adams song. I can't hear that song without hearing Gene wailing. It's fucking great. Gene is fucking perfect on it. Perfect. And I would argue, even though my favourite Gene Adams song is Curse of Sky, if you're going to ask me what is the definitive Gene Adam Iced Earth song, it would be Colors, my friend. He is fucking perfect on it.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that. But I enjoy the live version as well, which just fuels what we said before about it. It's a really one that they should bring back to the live set. And I think Stu would nail it too. I would love to hear Stu and the guys do it right now.
Yeah, man. I think Stu would kill it.
The next song is a song that just puzzles me to no end why it didn't make it on the first album. Is Nightmares. It's such a cool song. I don't know why that was dropped. I love Nightmares. Now, this is one of the songs where it took me a little while to get used to with Gene on vocals because I was so used to hearing Matt do it on Days of Purgatory. But once, I had the copy in my hand and I was able to start listening to the Enter the Realm, it flows so nicely with that first demo and the first album that it's a travesty that it wasn't on the first album.
I agree. I think it should have been on the first album. I think I think it's the best song on this demo after Colors, personally. Even though Curse the Sky is my favourite on the debut, Colors is my favourite off this, but of Nightmares is a close second. I prefer the way Gene sings this one as well. I like the chorus, nightmares in the night. The way he just snarls that in the night part. I think it sounds better than the more split apart part. The way Barlow does it is a bit different. But I just like the rawity of how Gene sings this one. And again, the production's just raw and nasty, and I just love it.
I agree. But I still really, really enjoy the Matt one too.
Oh, so do I. I'm not taking anything away from what Matt did with it.
Yeah.
And
I think it's because I love the Matt one so much because it's the one I heard first.
See,
I'm very bad about falling in love with the first version I hear of a song.
See, I heard the Matt version first as well, but I just really prefer the Gene one. There's just something, like, that's the thing, like, Matt and Gene are both very unique vocalists. There's nobody that sounds like Gene, there's nobody that sounds like Matt Barlow. But I love how they kind of, Matt has interpreted his own version of the song than what Gene did. They're very similar, but like they just have they're very different in their own way in terms of how they perform them vocally. But I just feel the song just works better with that Gene Adam kind of snarly kind of just evilness. And that's what I love about Gene. Like that's why I'm such a defender of Gene Adams' vocals on the demo and on the debut album, because he had something special that no one has. He has that kind of, he sounds like that fucking ice demon that, no one sounds like that, man. It's awesome.
And coming up, we're going to talk about some other Gene Adams songs when we hit our vinyl collection. Now, here is something I just noticed actually just now. On the Enter the Realm, it is To Curse the Sky.
Yes.
And on the first album, it's Curse the Sky.
Yeah, I'm very strange whether they dropped the 2 or whether it's an error,
just a
print error. Yeah. Because if you've ever listened to the 2002 horror show bootleg of Matt singing it, John announces it he says, "We haven't played the song in a very long time. This is To Curse the Sky." So in 2002, John was calling it To Curse the Sky. So
interesting.
Maybe, but thing is though, John didn't correct us when we said Curse the Sky. So maybe it's I don't know. It's very strange.
But anyway, it, like you said, classic Gene. I love this song. I can't hear enough of it, and this again is my favorite version of it. It's so catchy.
I just love the acoustic opening. How much hate can one man bear? This kingdom is crumbling. It's so good. So good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Great range on Gene on the vocals on that one.
Yeah, it's great.
Love that
It's
song.
got some great riffs as well. It's got some fucking wicked riffs.
The next one is Solitude.
Now, it could be me. Today I listened to the Dark Genesis version on CD. I couldn't really make any difference comparing that to the debut album version. They're very similar in their sound. it's a good instrumental. Like it's good.
It here's the problem I have with Solitude is it's in the debut album it's back to back with the Funeral, and Funeral's the better song of the two. So I think it kind of gets overshadowed by Enter the Realm and Funeral as being I don't know. I think for these two together, that three instrumentals really wasn't needed. So
Yeah.
in my perfect build your own first album, I drop Solitude and put in Enter the Realm, Into Colors, and then do Nightmares. That's what I would do. I don't hate it. To me, it's just a skipper.
I
And like I
would
said,
I would
I
agree.
mentioned this when I did the rankings. The one thing I hate about the debut album is there's only 8 songs and only 6 have vocals. To me, only having Gene sing first 6 out of the first is just I don't like that. So I would skip Solitude. Not a bad song. It just doesn't do a lot for me.
I would
I just
agree.
like
I would
Funeral a lot
agree.
better.
I agree. I have nothing to add to that.
So
I totally agree with you.
so and just to elaborate on what you said before, I don't think I've listened to the 2 songs enough to even know if there was a huge difference. I probably wouldn't know because I skip it on every version
Oh, really? That's interesting.
unless I'm listening to it on vinyl. And when I'm listening to stuff on vinyl, I never skip anything. So the last song,
Is
the
there
namesake.
the namesake? Iced motherfucking Earth. Yeah, this is where my opinion is going to differ. I actually prefer the debut album version over this Into the Realm version. Something about the intro part doesn't sound as good as the debut. You know, the da-na-na, it sounds a bit slower. Like it goes da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, whereas in the debut it's more. I think the debut version sounds a bit more kind of darker and a bit more evil. Maybe it's something to do with the
Oh,
tone on the guitar or something. But yeah, this is the only song off of this demo. Out of the 3 songs, out of 4 songs that were on the debut album, I think
oh,
uh, Iced Earth and Enter the Realm is not as good as the debut version, in my opinion. I also think that Gene's performance on the debut is a bit better on this song in particular. I still love it. I still listening to it today. Still sounds awesome. Uh,
right.
I swear to you, when it gets to the thrashy riff towards the end, on this, on this in particular, they're going way fast. I swear, compared to the debut, it's much faster in that thrashy bit. I don't know if it's just me, but they're going like 100 miles an hour on that fucking rhythm part. Holy fuck. It's
Um,
awesome. It's still awesome.
Iced Earth is one of my favorite songs of all time, and it's great on every version. I love live versions of it. I love, demo versions of it. I love every version of it. So Gene owns that, but I mean, everybody that has done it has been great at it. It's just the definitive Iced Earth song. So
Yeah.
I love it. I don't really have a preference on that one. Like we mentioned, I think just the Colors and Nightmares and Curse the Sky, I think, are my favorites off of this one. The other ones are pretty much similar. So overall, fantastic demo. Um, it definitely opens so many doors. I mean, if you know much about the history of the band, you know how important this demo was for them. Getting a lot of attention and how much it sold, how underground it was, and so to
Like
all those who
it
have the cassette version, congratulations.
you are all, you are one of the 1,000 if you have it. Um, yeah, it's like this demo. It kind of led to their signing to Century Media. You can see that as a good thing or a bad thing, considering the history they've had with that label. But that's a different conversation altogether. Um,
I don't think it's necessarily bad. It got them big enough to make them where they are now.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would change that. So, you know, so let's. I know we've seen our cassettes, but let's show off our Enter the Realm collections.
Well, I didn't get anything out. I just got my cassette out and my.
Okay. Enter the Realm cassette. Let's show what kind of vinyl you got there, Jason.
I have got the Enter the Realm of Purgatory, which is a really unusual bootleg, which contains the Enter the Realm demo on vinyl and also some intriguing Purgatory trackaroons.
Yes.
Which is the reason I bought it, because I wanted to hear the Purgatory stuff. I discovered this on eBay about 4 years ago. I had the black version, which I gifted to Bill Owens. So Bill Owens got a copy of this. And then I found the blue one about a year ago, and I just under a year ago, and I bought the blue version. It's not the best quality. It's listenable. I quite enjoy listening to the Purgatory stuff more than the Into the Realm demo. I really like Burning Oasis. I think it's probably the best song on the demo. Dracula is really good. Haunted House is not Purgatory. It is not Purgatory. Bill Owen did mention that it's a completely different band altogether. The intro is Purgatory, but then it goes into something completely different. So,
what number is yours, Jason?
It doesn't matter, does it? It's a bootleg. Who gives a fuck about
I was just curious.
Bootlegs? Mine is 34.
Mine's 26, and I think we've came to the conclusion that there's 200, but of each color. So there's probably 400 of these going around.
There's probably not. There's probably however many there is, because it's a bootleg.
They wanted to make.
Do you know what I mean?
A side note is when I first saw this on eBay, I didn't really pay attention to it. I thought it was just a alternate cover to the first album, because it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
And then I was looking on there. I was like, oh, that's not the usual one. And then I seen the Purgatory demos on there, and I was like, dear Lord, I must have this.
And the funny thing is the back image is not the Storm Rider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's completely just a complete bootleg.
It says, what's funny is it says Century Media there.
Yeah, but it also says Iced Life Collectibles on the side here.
Right.
And Iced,
so I know
Iced Life was the pseudo label that Iced Earth used for the demo. Iced Life Music, you can't really see it, but it says copyright 1989 Iced Life Music for the Into the Realm demo. So they used that kind of thing to make it seem pseudo official, but it's nowhere near official. The resolution of the artwork is fucking god awful. It's not very good in terms of its resolution. It's still kind of
cool though. I love Jack. Jack to me is the highlight of this one. I love Jack. I would love to have a top-notch quality version of that song, but I'll take what I got.
Those of you that look at this and think that's a cool little thing, yeah, it's a cool little thing. But if you're looking to hunt this down for the Enter the Realm, I would recommend skipping this and getting the Enter the Realm of the Gods re-release, because the quality is just superior. Yeah, exactly that. What Chuck's got, it is just superior quality. This isn't the best sounding vinyl, so buyer beware basically with this. I bought it because it was a nice curiosity, and I quite like it in my collection. Really, I enjoy it. Yeah, I'm just a nice derp nerd. Plus, having the Purgatory demos on here is pretty cool. Aside from Haunted House, which isn't Purgatory, but I do recommend to get the Enter the Realm of the Gods re-release, because I think it's a better package. Plus, you get Tribute to the Gods with it, which is great.
I was gonna say this is a 2-disc special, so if you don't have Enter the Realm or Tribute to the Gods, definitely look this up on eBay or Discogs. It's actually not that super common right now, so get it while you still can. And I talked to you before the show, Jason. It's weird that I have 4 different versions of Enter the Realm, and they have 4 different covers. This was my intro to Enter the Realm. This is Dark Genesis. I pre-ordered this before it came out, and I remember I was more excited about the Tribute to the Gods. Being a Maiden, AC/DC, and Kiss fan, I couldn't wait to hear these versions. And they, for like the first year or two, this was the only way that you could listen to Tribute to the Gods. And then they thankfully put it on the single CD version. So this is a tremendous, I love this. It's got a very cool, some very cool pictures. Great stuff of all the guys.
The one thing that's very strange about that Dark Genesis box set, by the way, is that each album was released separately in jewel cases with the redone artwork. The only thing that was not re-released on its own was Enter the Realm. That never got a
by itself.
That never got an individual release.
Yep, they just sucked. They put it in with the. I guess maybe it was a time factor or whatever. I'm not sure.
Plus, obviously, remember that Century Media do not own Enter the Realm. John owns that strictly.
Mine's a little beat up, but this is an original copy from. What year did this come out?
2002.
2001, and I remember getting a call at work saying that this had arrived, and I called in sick the next day because I just wanted to spend the day with it. So, little side note, that was me in 2001. I could not wait to hear the tribute album.
Now, I didn't get mine out because I was lazy, but I do have 2 copies of Dark Genesis. Obviously, one is just fine and dandy. Each disc is fine. The other version is a misprint where the artwork is incorrect on what is pressed on the CDs. So I had to kind of like guess which copy I had, which was the correct one. So when I was going to listen to Enter the Realm on CD today, I put in Enter the Realm out of one of my Dark Genesis boxes. It wasn't Enter the Realm, it was Night of the Storm Rider, but the disc has the Enter the Realm artwork on it. It's a complete misprint. Like all the CDs are in the wrong. Have the wrong music on it. That does like the artwork.
That's not confusing to fans, is it?
The artwork doesn't correspond to what's on the discs. So there is a bunch of misprints out there. I don't know how many actually exist, but
It's a really, really cool box set. I wouldn't mind if they did something like this for the Stu Block era. Throw the 3 albums and then
Dante's Inferno single.
Dante's Inferno single and Kurion. That's a perfect box set.
And
get on that, Century Media.
And the Democide demo as well.
Yes. We could go on for days about our wish list, Jason. So now, overall, this is. Go ahead.
I was gonna end with a question.
Okay.
Would you recommend Enter the Realm to new fans?
You mean if I could just recommend one album only?
No, I'm just saying, just in general, would you say, Enter the Realm is great, you should listen to it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would suggest that for any fan of metal. If you like
that motorbike was so
thrashy,
loud.
Heavy. I know. I'm sorry. It feels so nice to have my window open. I haven't had it open for like months because it's been so bloody hot. Yeah, I would definitely suggest it. It wouldn't be my go-to. Give one person only one CD, but I would definitely suggest anybody that hasn't heard it to listen to it, just to hear the history and
Just the evolution.
It's classic.
The evolution of the band is.
Yeah, and it's not bad. It's not like I'm saying here sit through this to hear. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. You
I
know,
love it too.
if I would have put it in our rankings, it would be number 4. It would have been Something Wicked, Dystopia, Night of the Storm Rider, Enter the Realm. It would have been my 4th favorite release.
The only thing that would have hurt me from ranking it is I just hate that there's only 4 vocals. That makes it hard for me to rank.
Yeah, I suppose. But
So,
yeah, it's one of my favorite
but I mean,
releases. I love it. It's fucking awesome.
yeah, I really, even though I have this unofficial Century Media release of Enter the Realm of Purgatory, John mentioned in our interview that it could see a vinyl release I would love to see, this artwork on a vinyl or, an updated one. I would love to have that on a nice 180 gram. I'd buy that all day, probably multiple copies of it. And I'd buy a new CD of it. I would love to have it. It sounds great on the CD, so I don't really need a CD, but I definitely want to update a vinyl on it.
That'd be a really nice addition to our collections for sure.
Yeah.
It's really great he can do that as well because he owns the rights to Enter the Realm. Like, he owns those masters. It's not a Century Media thing. So I'm very excited if that comes to fruition. That's going to be very exciting. Especially for people that can't get this or don't want to pay the money for this. I had to have it because I can't even explain why. I just had to have it. It's one of the most historically significant things the band has put out, in my opinion. It's a holy grail. It's no longer my holy grail. I have something else more precious to me in my Iced Earth collection. But it is like one of the rarest items in Iced Earth, in the Iced Earth catalogue. That goes for silly money. If you have the money to burn and you find it for cheap or a price that you're not gonna regret paying, and it's in good condition, grab it when you can.
They don't come around much.
For those of you that don't want to spend the money on something that you probably won't even play, grab the CD version. It's cheap enough. Or pick up Dark Genesis box set. They're cheap enough. Dark Genesis box set is like $15 or less nowadays. So yeah. So this has been our retrospect of Enter the Realm. The demo
of all demos.
Yeah, where it all began for Iced Earth. So yeah, check it out if you haven't listened to it, because it's worth listening
We've got a couple viewer comments about this, Jason.
Oh yeah, we do, don't we?
Yes.
I almost forgot.
I've recently picked up a sealed copy of the first album, and now I'm getting the stupid cassette itch, so dang it. That's going to cost me.
My collection is complete. Saying that though, you said it's going to cost you. The cassettes are pretty good in terms of prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty reasonable. The only one you might have trouble finding is a Tribute to the Gods cassette. That's probably.
I know. I've been looking.
Yeah.
It's on my list on Discogs.
That might be rarer than the fucking Enter the Realm. It could be, because it has Enter the Realm on it. It's like a double thing, like a double feature. Anyway, viewer comments, because you reminded me, Chuck. Thank you for that.
And while you're doing that, I wanted to thank everybody who participated in our 1 year. We had some really nice comments, and people participated and told some of their favorite things for a giveaway that's happening soon. So again, our Facebook group is the best. Thanks to everyone who takes the time to participate in Podcast and Stone, the #1 Facebook group of all time.
You're biased. You're so biased. By the way, you mentioned giveaway. The results for the giveaway would have been commenced already before this video goes up, so ignore that. Anyway,
Right.
Viewer comments.
Yes.
Adam Ortiz comments, I wish I had a copy. I heard it after I got into the debut album and loved the raw sound it had. I really wish the debut album was the demo with extra songs added. Nightmares. Totally agree with this. I agree with this 100%.
Well said, Adam.
Thank you for your comment, Adam. According to our group, Adam is now a conversation starter because Facebook has started adding little icons to people now. So because he's posted a lot, he's a conversation starter. That's interesting. Greg Seymour comments, the drummer,
Vice President.
vice
Greg
president, vice president of drinking beer, Greg Seymour, the drummer from this demo. He comments, which is really cool for him to comment. That recording was a game changer for us. We put our all into Enter the Realm. It is something that all of us are still proud of to this day. So you should be, man. It's fucking awesome. Thank you for your comment, Greg. We appreciate your involvement in our group. It's awesome. And then there's a bunch of replies between Adam and Greg. Basically, Adam was trying to trade his dog for Greg's copy of Enter the Realm. Nice try, Adam. Nice try. Charlie Espinosa, I hope I've pronounced that right. He comments, the first time I heard Enter the Realm material was when I first got the Dark Genesis box set. I love the sound quality and the raw, hungry vibe that came out of it. You can definitely hear why it made the impression it did in Europe. Even though I love the sound and the vibe of the first album that gave it so much embryonic character and angsty mood that definitely spoke to me when I was younger, the sound quality on Enter the Realm is superior. Definitely not as compressed sounding, and it's money well saved and spent. These guys were growing up and getting better at what they did, though just starting to figure themselves out as artists. It's a very special piece of work, and it's a catalyst of what was to come. Fucking well said, my friend.
Very nicely said.
That is totally spot on. And
he had the same introduction as I did. I bet a lot of people had that same introduction through the Dark Genesis.
So it was mine as well.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool to hear.
Yeah, and our final comments, John Baylor just says it's an amazing demo. And it is. So thank you for your comment, John. So yeah, that wraps up our Enter the Realm retrospective. We got more to come, guys. You know us. I have upgraded my tech stuffs, so it means faster rendering times when editing, which means we should be able to get more videos out to you more often. We are looking. I'm not promising nothing, by the way, guys. I'm just projecting what we've got in mind because we just want to put out more content for you guys. We're on our way to 400 subscribers. And
yes.
Instead of putting out 2 episodes a month, we really want to get 4 episodes out a month. So, no promises, but that's what we're really working hard to try to get that a reality. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I've been Jason. I've been joined as always with the incomparable Chuck Hoskins. This has been our Enter the Realm demo retrospective. Once again, thank you Matt Barlow for coming on our show to promote We Are Sentinels with us. You guys are all awesome. See you in the next one. Stay metal because metal lives, my friends. See you later.